We're going to wake up all those sleepy muscles. So grab your roller, grab your band, and let's get started. Take a breath in. Exhale. Big arm circles, flexing into the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Arms open. Spread out those wings. Rounding and lengthening. Feeling that lightness in your wings. Let's hang on to airplane arms, and I want you to feel that ripple to the right and to the left. Bring it down. Bring it on up. And then bring the hands to plant. I want you to feel energy into the outside edge of those heels, big toe. One hand down, one hand plants on the sacrum. Use those 5 fingers to pull the chest through. Add that reach of that left arm up. Switching sides. Left hand down. I like to count how the hips are nice and level by using that feedback of my hand before I reach it on up. Maybe wrapping that tricep, pulling back with the fingers. And we're going to slightly angle those heels, reach those knees energetically, and feel the stretch of those inner thighs. I want you to take that breath in here. And as you come down, come into a Malasana Squat. Maybe press the edginess of the elbows into the inner thighs into the elbows. Reach those knees to the corners of the room. Add that long length of your spine. Reach it. Bring it on down. If this doesn't work for you, hands can plant to the tops of the thighs, but I want you to hold your Malasana, lengthening into your spine. Hips are open. And then use the reach of the knees as you come up, back tall and standing. Maybe parallel those feet this time. Feel the lengthening of that lumbar back to stretch. Angling those feet, coming into your Malasana. Hands plant. And I want you to hop it back or walk it back. And then hop it out. Shoot it up like a star. Add that length to the front. Bring it on down. Clip the inside edge of the elbows to the inside edge of the knees. Hop it back. Reach it up. Bring it to your own timing. Give me 4 more just like this. Reach those knees. Hop it back and out. Reach those knees. Hands plant. Give me 2 more. Reach those knees. Last one. Reach those knees. Hands plant. And then hold. Hold. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift it right and left. Maybe trace those hands on the floor. And we're going to come off to your side, triangle pose. Open up the hips. Add the hips to open by entertaining the outside third of that heel. Big toe, squeeze the shoulder blades. Coming on back, hands plant, and grip all 10 fingers, pull the chest wall through, and then maybe switch it. Switch it. Switch it. Keep your hips lifted. Switch it. Triangle. Opening, squeeze those blades. Maybe reversing it. Bending at the elbow. Let the head land heavy in your hands. Add that side angle. Maybe taking the bend out of the knee, but keep the lumbar back space open so the chest moves forward. Pivot on that back foot. Hands plant. It's a 4 count. Here we go. Grip all 10 fingers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Land. Keep the hips open. Energy on the outside third of that heel. Reverse it. Variation. Pivot on that back foot. Both hands plant. Grip all 10 fingers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Adding it. Opening it. Reversing it. Make sure you have space. And the lumbar spine and the outer lateral hip. One more. Pivot on the back foot. Lift that hip up. All 10 fingertips plant. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it on up. Reversing. So all the movements and play that you do, make it feel strong but long all at the same time. Swivel it up like a wave. Get that fluid flowing. Pivot on the ball mound of that foot. Land into that lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. And warrior 2 feet. Lengthening on up. Sending it back. Landing. See if you can really own the torso and trunk of your body and its control. Landing, grip in all 10 fingers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stick out the booty. Chest moves forward. Add that length. Squeezing shoulders to the spine as you lift. Delicious. Feel how the sides pull in to help the stretch on the opposing one. One last one. Get ready. Pivot, land, lean in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah. Do you feel it? Do you feel how you can keep strength in our spaces? And wave it. Trace those fingers on the floor. And let's come into quadruped position. Grip all 10 fingertips back. Pull the chest forward. And then segmentally moving nice and slow as you lengthen and flex into the spine. Maybe big toes come together, knees go wide. Child's pose. Grip all 10 fingers as you pull the chest forward, lengthening into the spine and flexing, but the hips stay nice and open. Let's use our roller, wherever that might be. I'm going to use a soft little performance roller, and I'm just going to sit on top, forearm down, and getting some hydration into that side hip. Maybe opening up my clam, and I'm like, my hips are like like coming over the waterfall like in a barrel as I open it and close it. One more time, opening it and closing it. Coming back to center, scrubbing that tail. Let's switch sides. So as I land, I'm opening and tucking, opening that hip. So it's just this element of timing of the hip. As I roll it on over, I'm up close and personal to the opposite side. And then bringing it back. Going to scrub the upper back and maybe plant my footprints down. Find my breath in my core. Let this element of love come alive in my center as I reach overhead. Add that length. As much as I'm reaching over, my feet are pressing away. And then allowing my sternum to lift. And then maybe opening into a V-seat and rebending. Adding that stretch. Bending at the elbows, goal posting. Letting the elbows flare a little higher than my hips. Adding that V-seat. One more time. Planting ever so softly, maybe landing on the ball mounds of my feet, and then rolling back to my heels. Add that length. Pressing the feet away. Bringing the elbows in closer and higher than the hip line. Adding that length. And then I'm going to cup my hands behind my skull, landing ever so softly in the ball mound of my right foot, but let the chest lean forward up to the sky and the shoulders energize down the back of the body. And then I'm going to turn, wrapping the ribs back to center, switching ever so softly. Keep the hips actively down. Chest is lifted up. Wrap it, switch it. Slow but steady. And let's now add a little quickness to this for 4, 3, 2, 1. And nice and slowly wrap it around. Connect into the deep belly muscles. Switching and lengthening. Suppleness in the lumbar back space. Here's that quick 4, 3, 2, and 1. 3 times the charm. I'm going to just push myself back. And as I press and tap into my toe, I'm adding a little more element of my ribs to wrap. Nice and slowly. One more slow. Take it around. What side we might have more range than the other. So really see if you can use that connection of the ball mound of the foot, chest to lift up to get deeper. And add that length. Wanting full ranges for life. Not just when we're old and young, but young or old, but for our whole lifetime. Add that reach, push the feet energetically away. Don't let the head lift up first. Spread out those fingers. And let's just give it a gentle neck release. I'm right at the firmness of my skull as I move behind that ear bone, first to one side, and then gently to the other. Maybe swish swash it from ear bone to ear bone. Take that breath, move it a little higher, and then lift up the chin and drive the chin down. So, rolling off to your side, let's bring it into that quadruped position again and grip all 10 fingers. So how is your bird dog as you extend the left and the right? And then as you come into the center, can you give a little love tap to the inner side of the knee? And where do you feel that? Try it again, add that reach. And then bring it on in. Add that little love tap, where do you feel that? And then this time, we're gonna plant that right foot to plant. And I'm gonna bring a band underneath the arch of my foot. Gonna grab some tension on that band. And then spin my triceps. Thumbs hitch a ride. And I'm pressing my feet away as I lift up. Make your adjustments if you have too much tension or not enough. And then bring those pinkies together. And then lead back with the thumb. Chest moves forward. Feel the suppleness of the spine. Take a bow. Maybe lifting up the toe, dropping the toe. Bring it on up. Pinkies come together. Thumbs go wide. Chest leads the limelight as you touch it down. Lifting and lowering. Try this again. Lifting. Pinkies come to touch. Open it out. Lowering it down. Taking a bow, booty goes back. Press the feet away. Pinkies come to touch. Open it out. One more. Yes, you can. Lower it down. Drop it down. Take a bow. Maybe lifting and lowering. And this time as we lift, let's find that airplane. Hips are nice and level. And we're going to bring the pinkies to touch. And then as we lift, come up tall and standing. Own that glute. Kick it on out. Airplane. Steadiness with your breath. Steadiness and evenness of the hips. Pinkies come to touch. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Tall and standing. Own it. One more. Chest always leads. Too many times the head wants to be the nosy body. Nice. And we're just going to step it on out. Maybe use your band behind your back. Gather in the ends. And then just stretching it out. Kind of journeying to a diagonal. Feel that breath working. Don't hold your breath. Your breath is your foundation and your anchor to your center of gravity. So at all times, you want your body to know how to use it. Come into that quadruped, maybe cat-cow, the back. Slowing it down, feel the timing of how your hips and spine work together as one. Right leg extends out. We're neutral pelvis. but I'm constantly pressing my fingers or gripping my fingers like a rainforest tree frog. So I feel that pathway all the way underneath the armpit. And as you touch the inside of the knee to the hand, do you feel something amazingly happening in your core? At that reach. And at any time that you're not really too sure where it is, the power and the magic is the hold. And we're going to settle that left foot to the bottom of the band. Let's see what trouble we can get into. So the arch of your foot needs to always have space underneath. And I really grip the toes and like kind of traction them back towards the heel. So as I gather the ends, somehow, some way, whole arm spins into the arm bones, and I kind of suction cup the shoulder blades deep into the wall as I press the feet away, lifting. Pinkies come together. Chest stays lifted. Bring it on down. Take a bow. Stick the booty back. Chest leads forward. Maybe lifting up those toes. Lifting on up. Always one side a little peskier than the other. Feel how you get your strength, not just from your front, but from your back body as well. Landing softly. Feel a little nice, happy stretch. Tall body, 3 more. Pressing the feet away. Tall, standing. You can keep as much bend in that knee. You're doing it. Yes, you are. Softly landing. Flexing. Pressing through. Full body happiness happening. Landing ever so softly. Picking it up. Dropping it down. Pressing. Last one. You got this. Make it your best one. Maybe a little more excitement into that hamstring. We're lifting. Airplane. Balance in both the right and left sides of the hip. Owning that glute. Finding that connection to your core. Airplane. You can always drag the foot to get that feedback as to where your pelvis needs to be. Chest leads the way. Add that extension. And rebend. You got this. 2 more. Woo. Keeping our curves of our spine. Don't tuck the pelvis under. No, keep them open. Huge reception in that lateral hip stability here. Burn, baby, burn. Breaking down to build up. Owning it. Nice job. Wow. Oh, yeah. Taking that air. Do what feels good. Do what gives you joy. I'm going to gather the bands and then just reach out overhead, push energy into the outside of the heel. I'm bringing the band towards my sternum. Big toe is being felt, press into the outside of the heel. as maybe you angle the feet, reaching arms overhead. Give it a little taffy sensation of opening a little longer into that band. Parallel the feet. Bring the band into the sternum. And then lead with the heart, angling the feet, reaching out. Last one. Parallel. Feel what's happening in your feet to create openness in your hips. We're going to step on the band, and I want you to give a little tension. And we are kind of opening at the side. I want you to wrap your tricep. You know, your pinky is front, your thumb is forward as you lift, and we're just hanging and holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take a little curtsy squat. Left knee behind the right, thumbs up, hitch that ride, and then as we open, feeling life and love in that medial delt, anterior delt, posterior delt. Take a bow, reach out, bring it on in, open it on out. Slow, taking out that momentum. Maybe pull it in and then reset yourself to open. Bring it on in, open it on out. 2 more. Reaching. If you feel that shake, hold on to those shakes. That neuroquiver is magic in action to let the right muscle fire first. Here we go. Pull it in and out. Pull it in and out. Give me 4 more. And 3. Go 2. And 1. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. That should do it. So you felt it all in here, not in here. Other side. Let's see what trouble we can get into. Oh, wrong foot. Right foot. So my setup is really important. Getting that wrapping of the tricep. And as I hitch that ride out and pull it on in. Chest is leading. Thumb hitches that ride back. And then bring that pinky. I'm like a little on a diagonal here. Opening it out. Not cramping into the neck. Give me 4 more. Inhale, going back. Really feeling it on that back body. Spread those angel wings. Give me 2 more. Opening and closing. What's going on in your feet? I very rarely exercise in shoes. 2 more. Unless I'm on the boardwalk. Splinters in your feet will never do. And 1. We are in Asbury, the home of music to tantalize the senses. Take that curtsy squat. We're going to be pulling it on all in and then pulling it all out. And curtsy squat. Take it on in. Squeeze the shoulders. and that synergy on the back of the shoulder blade. We are staying connected and not letting it let go. Two more. Bring it on in. And out. Bring it on in. And out. Here's that pump and pulse. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to pump it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lit up like the 4th of July. Right here, not here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Taking that air, taking that water. Let's come down. And I'm going to use my little roller friend underneath my hips. Bringing my hands on my pelvis. Making sure my core is owning its mark as everything consolidates. My hips are in a tilted position. I'm going to press into my triceps, send my chest to lift as I move, isolating just the hips to roll in and then rolling out. Keep active in your triceps, in the lifting of that sternum. Maybe a little shaking in the legs, which is also a good thing. And then we're taking the knees to frog leg, coming on up, keeping that tilted position. And then as the knees come in, tuck that pelvis, keeping active in the triceps. And then we're taking those circles of the hips out. And then as much as I'm tucked, feel that timing as the hips are like the barrel coming over the waterfall. As my knees come in, frog leg out, feel the energy and reaching of those knees. Maybe a little neuroquiver there. And then as they come in, your hips are now on your side of the roller. Take that breath and then bending at your knees, and you're in a tuck position here. Triceps are active, and then try to get into tilt. It's a very small movement, tucking and tilting. Feel the belly kind of working. And then I want you to keep your anterior tilt, so your hips are like coming over the waterfall in a barrel. You can almost feel perhaps maybe the fascia helps stretch the muscle on the crest of your hips. Maybe one leg at a time as you're flexing, but sinking the hips and really get up close and personal of the tissue of the hip crest to press on throughout. And then rebend. You could always do this with a foot down. So as much as I'm extending out, I'm putting on the protection of the hips to connect fully on the opposite side of the roller. The half rollers work amazingly too. Let's try it with both. But the hips are suction cupped as I extend on out. Triceps are active, chest is forward, and maybe get a little, there's that little neuroquiver. See if you can hold on to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh baby, and 1. And then point the toes, see if they can land, and then just use those long bone and rock it like a chair to the heel. Press those feet energetically. I just paralleled my feet to add that reach up. And send that breath down into the belly. We're going to remove the roller, and we're going to position the roller underneath the top of the knees, and we're coming over onto the forearms. All 10 fingertips grip. There's a theme here, and that's always leading with your heart and everything that you're doing, first to one direction, then to the other. Maybe bend and extend the knees, keeping active in the fingerprints to keep the chest forward. I'm going to pick another spot as I just roll on back unless you hit a wall. Add that gentle movement and compression to the tissue, keeping all 10 fingertips pressed. And then maybe coming with a wide V and gripping all 10 fingers here as you lift, and then bring it to the knees. And then we're going to spin those triceps, lower with control. Keep those elbows narrow, wrists are wide, and then grip and lift, never in your neck. Extend on out. Use the drag of the fingertips energetically to lift you up. And let's hang and hold there. Hopefully that was working well for you. Modify, modify, modify. Start in always smaller ranges and build from there. And never use your neck to muscle that core strength. We are slightly angled. My hands are a little staggered. I'm positioning the right on top of my left. And again, my triceps are wrapping. A lot of times we do this, and that's not so, no bueno. And then extend. We're in a side plank position. And then we're going to lower down. And then press down to lift up. Let the hips lead the way. Drag your knees in. And maybe plant the toes as you let the thighs float towards the chest. And then maybe lifting up. Doesn't have to be a big range, but keep those hips open as we land. As we extend into that plank, drop it down. Press down to lift up. Use the strength. Let your thighs float to the chest as you lift on up. My chest is actually touching my thighs. One more. Add that extension. Plank it. Heart leads the way. Lifting, pressing down to lift up. I keep space underneath the eye of my hand. Chest feels like a magnet to the thighs as I lift. Shake out the head. And let's just maybe keep the ankles crossed as I grip all 10 fingers to pull it back here. Heart is leading the way. Slurping into maybe a cow back and a cat back. But the hips open. Float the arms up. Inhale, uncross. Even though we're going to the left, that right foot is planted. And vice versa. As we lean away from that body part, we're manifesting that energy to grab on to save the day. Keep body tallness. All right, other side. Come on down. Staggering those knees. Crossing the ankles. And lean on in. Hover the knees and just ask yourself, do I feel my core? And then as you ride up the outside of the shin bone, dropping, chest lifts, bring it on in, plant the feet, thighs come into the chest. Maybe this is it, but if you can get the chest to touch the thighs to touch the chest, landing ever so slow, moving with grace, moving with connection to your root. Three more. Drop it down. Maybe that range is a little smaller. Maybe it's a full Monty. Pull it on in. Toes touch down. Press down into the ball mounds of the feet. As you lift. And active. Two more. Press down, lifting on up. One more. Best is the last. Lifting on. Oh. Take that bow. You have earned it, a standing ovation. In everything that you do it with love, do it with joy, do it with happiness of your heart. Have a great, amazing day. Best day ever. Thank you so much for joining, and never stop moving for the journey of your life. Namaste.